Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We're doing a follow-up on the Nissan Rogue Driveshaft. I've been hearing this snapping sound when turning around when the front and rear axles are not turning at the same speed. It has driven perfectly all winter. It's gotten my wife through all the snowstorms. All-wheel drive worked perfectly. But it's making this snapping sound. Let's check the U-joints. So these are the eBay replacement joints. So in the rear, everything looks good, nice and tight, and this thing does not vibrate at all, so the joints were well centered after our installation. However, up front, see a little grease splattered about, and uh-oh, not good. The draft shaft's moving up and down in this axis. The other one seems tight, but we got a problem. This is not good. This joint's shot. That's what's making the snapping sound, unfortunately. So the question is, was this caused by the flange that was messed up when the first joint, exploded? I'll take a little closer look, see if that cup is still there, or what the failure mode is here. Well, here we go. You can see the carnage. That cap snapped. It cracked and a piece of it fell out, and now the yoke is just flipping and flopping in there. Why did that happen? Was it because the flange was destroyed, or are these cups, just the way the joint fits, you can see it's sunken in pretty far, so there's not much supporting that cup in this flange right here. You can see the flange on the drive shaft is a lot thicker and sticks out, not as far, but that sucks. So I'm going to see if the flange is destroyed or if the cup is just not appropriate for this application. Well, here's the failure analysis. Yup. It's the flange. So the original joint, remember, it was completely destroyed, and that actually compromised the flange here, this guy, where the yoke was actually ate out the part where the cup is supposed to be supported. So now all the load is just on the cup, on the shell, without any support from the flange wall, because that got hammered away. So now this thing is pretty much useless. The cup is wobbling in here. I mean, you can push it up and down with your finger, so this isn't an interference fit anymore. And even if it was, the cup would still break because there's actually a gap right in there. That's a shame. I mean, it did last all winter, so she did have all-wheel drive when she needed it. But if I use my pick, you can see the gap right here between the cup and the flange where the yoke actually hammered it out originally. That's too bad. So what we could do is get a new flange and a new joint, or bite the bullet and get a reman drive shaft and keep this thing as a spare. But where are you going to buy just the flange? That's a shame. But you know what? It's almost summer. We'll keep this off and fix it by next winter, right? Alright, I'm going to bite the bullet on this Nissan Rogue drive shaft. WholesaleImportParts.com. This guy right here. Driveshaft product. Replaceable U-joints installed. OEM fitment guaranteed. $370. 1 year unlimited miles warranty. We're gonna try it and put it on. Nissan Rogue's back in the shop. I got the new Driveshaft shipped. Here it is. So I got it from wholesaleimportparts.com. Driveshaft brand. Nissan Rogue, there's a part number 35952925. And on their website, they said that it was an improved design with replaceable U-joints. I'm like, you know what? That's fantastic, because if they ever go bad, it'll be a lot easier to do than on the original staked-in design. They said it was, you know, balanced and should fit, just plug and play. So for less than 400 bucks, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pay it, bite the bullet, and get this thing, see if it works. Because the flange on the original shaft, as you saw, was destroyed by the first joint that failed, and that caused the second joint to fail. The cap just busted. Now it would have, I think it would have held up fine if it wasn't for that. You know, if I caught it earlier, these replacement joints would have been fine. It didn't vibrate, and the rest of the caps look good. It was just that one that let's see, which one was it? This guy here, see that big chunk missing? That's the one that was compromised. So the new one, the joints, the caps actually look much like they fit better. They're more in the yoke versus this one where, see, they're really inset. So that's not a good thing. That means a lot of the load isn't on the actual flange, it's on the cap. So these things have circlips, and if you ever need to replace them, feel nice and tight, I guess replacements should be available from that same company. The only thing that I needed to swap over was this center bearing support. Just two little plastic thingies. It comes apart in pieces and transfers over from the old to the new. So let's put this guy on, take the Rogue for a test drive, and hopefully this thing will last 200,000 miles. Well, I took the Nissan Rogue for a spin. New drive shaft, smooth as butter. So I'll keep you guys up to date how the aftermarket drive shaft works out. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.